Am I live? I always hate this because it never shows that I'm live. Have I started? Is it running? Okay, now it says I'm live. On my phone, at least. Now, is it showing up? Oh, hello, everyone. Thank you so much. I am the Awkward GM Corbin. I use he, him pronouns, and today we are talking about Curseborne. And I am putting my Curseborne campaign planning stream on the socials. I should also say I am live now. There we go. For some reason it says that I am like using a different language than I should be, but we shall see. Okay. So what does it say? Warning, your stream is currently at a lower bit rate than normal. Okay, whatever. I shall close some stuff out. If you can see me, you can hear me, please let me know in the chat. All my like little thingies say that I can be heard. So I did a quick survey asking what I should be covering on this stream to celebrate my 2,000 subscribers. Or hitting 2,000 subscribers, and that is to do campaign planning specifically for Curseborne and specifically for the city of Boston. I have been doing a lot of thinking about Boston in regards to Curseborne before, so I actually had some stuff like prepared previously, but I'm throwing it all out to start from scratch. In any case, I start usually. So we have the compiled manuscript here of Curseborne. We'll be going through some of that today. But I usually start here with my campaign Bible template that I stole from Chris Perkins back in the end of 4th edition, start of 5th edition D&D days. In any case, I give myself like an overview of the sort of an overview of the campaign, the setting. Well, we're set in Boston, so that's going to be a given. Bits about the leadership and some major plot points. We'll have like a brief timeline of events, usually not going too far back into the past, though maybe I want to go far back in the past for this. Who knows? The calendar cycle was left over from the D&D era. We just removed that for the moment. Though I could leave it in because you never know. You might want to be like, oh, here's some events in Boston that you can do. So let's just have a January. February, March, April, May, June. Okay, that's all of them. So I did before we started the stream, I did add all the factions in here so that we can have a little bit of detail about them. We have the Furies, the Mavens, the Poltergeists, the Shades, Wardens, etc. All the ones from the books. And I did have a spelling mistake here because I copied it from an old thing, but any case. This will help us determine which of the families are the most active in the system, in the campaign, as it were. My plan is to really just decide on like overall, like we're gonna have probably one of every one of the lineage types have at least one faction that's like the major faction for the area, and then we're going to go down from there and like just flesh out a little bit of stuff here and there. I will put this all over the place on the internet. It's a Sunday. I'm not expecting too many people to be up and about watching this stream, to be honest. If you have any questions about like how I run my channel, what I'm excited for with different game lines and things of that nature, feel free. So long as the question isn't something that's going to break NDA or something that I have with a game company or anything, I'll feel free to answer as best as I can. I was really excited when Curseborne got announced because it is one of those games that I just really wanted to see. We had the whole Chronicles of Darkness not getting new stuff really, and I was hoping that they would do something like this where they started their own urban fantasy game line. I did want to put a few landmarks into this. So if I go scroll down here, we have important landmarks and facts. Typically, you're going to want something like, if you're doing Boston, there's the Peru, which is also like, it's a tall building, one of the tallest buildings in Boston, but also contains a mall and convention center. I remember during COVID, they had you would get your COVID shots there too. Anyways, you have a few parks. Big one, if I go down here into my historical landmark stuff, we've got the Arnold Arboretum. Love that in JP. Probably one of the better parks if you want to go walking around. Love it. Public park. Is it kind of like a botanical garden but for trees? You also have Boston Common, which is public park, middle of the city. It's weird. Boston, if you look at a map of Boston, the way it's laid out is very interesting. Oh, I am zooming in with the wrong zoom feature. So you have here, which is sort of like your downtown area for Boston. You'll see here that you've got Boston Common and the public garden right here. And then if you scroll all the way down to about like, so you have Boston here, all the way up to about, I'm thinking about Dedham down here. So this right here, West Roxbury, is still in Boston, which is just crazy to me. Because it's like it's kind of like spread out across the entire area. I think if I do a search for Boston here, Boston, Mass. No, it will only take me to the center. Okay. But like stuff like here, Cambridge, not part of Boston. However, everything south of here practically is. Any case. I like this. This is my Google Maps. I usually use it to create different layers and stuff like that for the different parts of a map that I want to do to change things around. So for instance, if I wanted to have a family, say the Sphinx, with some territory, and I wanted them in, say, Back Bay or something like that, I could do plop a thing here, plop a thing here, plop a thing here, plop a thing here, and then connect it, and that'll create some territory for the Sphinx. However, I could save it. It's a polygon right now. I could rename it, but I can also move it around if I feel like it's not actually covering a lot of the area in a good way. It allows me to visualize things. I am going to, however, delete that. I'm double checking this stream just because I am a paranoid person. Maybe, you know what? I'll do it on my phone. You never know how this stuff looks until you are there. So, double checking the stream. Yeah, I can hear my voice in there. I never imagined I would hit 2,000 subscribers with this channel, mostly because of how niche YouTubing is, especially for the tabletop RPG area. You have your Dungeons and Dragons, which covers like the majority of stuff on YouTube, but then like every other thing is like, oh yeah, you're not gonna get much traffic unless you're Seth Skorkowski or somebody. And I really pass off to Seth because I can't imagine how he is able to have such a fast growing YouTube channel. Me myself, I sort of benefited from having people like just wanting to play Chronicles of Darkness, which is weird because you'd think Vampire the Masquerade is a little bit more popular, but then you have stuff like Changeling the Lost, Mage the Awakening, and stuff, and those really are high in popularity. It's sad that we haven't been getting new stuff for them in quite a while. That's kind of why I've shifted over to Curseborne. I like new things. Anyway, campaign types of stuff I want to do for campaigns. I would think of doing another West Marches style campaign for this. I do want to have so Accursed in Boston. I like having names that are something that people can grasp onto and know exactly what they're doing. Um, I will say that it's a campaign like this where you have such a big landmass and you have a bunch of players. I really like for when I do something that is character focused, like specifically player character focused, that I am talking to the people, like using the people's backstory, like the player character's backstory to flesh out the setting. However, what I will do, since this is going to be a more generic open city style, which I invented, of West Marches, I'm going to basically start off with the city of Boston. Eh. Writing stuff on stream is always a little bit difficult. I like hangout streams, I like video game streams, but this is always something that I'm a little bit unsure of in some cases. But any case, so we have the city of Boston, home to the accursed. Let's bring out some like let's just do some notes here. Let's just do some bullet points. We're gonna have definitely going to have the family inner conflict, family rivalries. Oh, we definitely, as far as like landmarks and stuff like that, we have these I need to remember the not just the landmarks, but also the liminalities. So liminalities in Curseborne are your special locations that are sort of outside of reality or behave differently. And they can adjust a lot. They can be like, oh, here is a world where, like, here's a portal to a place where everything's very similar to our own reality, but everyone has been replaced with rat people or something. Let's see here. If I go to story guiding, is it in story guiding where the liminalities are? No. Building encounters, though, I do like that. Okay. The world. Woven tapestry, magic and fair things. Beyond the veil. Is this outside? Yeah, that's the outside. Between the cracks. This must be the liminalities, right? Okay, so here we got the places in between. They're called liminalities. I think shattered spaces are one. want lists. I know there's Shattered Spaces, and then there's Battlegrounds. Okay, so you've got liminal spaces, battlegrounds, shattered spaces. I feel like there's one more. In any case, we've got to think of those as well. Need to reopen that tab. These are your sort of spaces that allow for crazy stuff to happen. The shattered spaces are more like Venus flytraps, as it were, as far as like locations go. Liminal spaces are things like a blockbuster that exists, and if you go into it, you can actually rent any movie that ever existed, and a few that haven't or were killed before they were released. I'm gonna put blockbuster there. I miss West Coast videos. That one was a good one. We had a bunch of those types of places. So blockbuster. I can have a bunch of different starting points. Last time I did a Boston campaign, the main theme revolved around the fact that the world had been shattered and all the like people in the city had to rebuild as far as the supernatural community went. I'd really like to fix that in some way and do something a little bit different, like do a little change. For me, I really do enjoy stories where you can, I don't know, do your own thing. I do like having major plot points in regards to like we've got the evening Voodoo. It's like noun but down. We do have a bit of the various factions here listed out, so maybe that'll help me like flesh out the world a bit. So we've got the Furies as a family. Fuck around and find out type of deads. I will usually skim through this section and go all the way back down here to others call us all sort of derogatory terms. Within our family, we are Revengers. We often use our magic to incite rage in others. We love the sound of a mob whipped to a frenzy or a jerk ready to run someone else off the road. You'll find us buttering up close family members of our victims, only to use them against them in the future. So you can see here we have like a little bit of like what they're about. Voodoo. Okay. Voodoo on the moon. I'm bad at rhyming. I don't know. But so now that we have the idea of the Furies, maybe I'll toss in here that the Furies probably going down into the Boston area. We could put them in Southie, which has its own sort of connotation. Or we could do something different. We could probably put them in a place like a fighting area, like a boxing gym or something that's in downtown. Oh, West Fenway. They're totally like somewhere around here in this area. We can have the Furies be here. We'll call this map the Dead map, as these will be all the different groups that are um, associated with the dead. So we'll have put a little thing here. Love using my Google Maps for this type of stuff because it just allows me to be very creative in where people are. And we'll call this is Fury's territory. We'll just put it in there for the moment. Having them in Fenway means we definitely have them as the Boston Red Sox supporters. Old family. Old family. Been around since the curse of the. Was it the curse of the Bambino? Yeah, Curse of the Bambino. That is little Babe Ruth history in Boston when he was sold off basically to the New York Yankees in the 1920s, and supposedly uh, for 100 years the Red Sox would never win a World Series. Uh, it was actually 86 years, but hey, you broke a curse early. We can even put it in here that supposedly the Furies dealt with the curse of the Gambino, maybe taking it on as a bit of bad luck or something for themselves in order to get the Red Sox to win. Next up, we have the Mavens. I do like. I will say a little bit of the stuff I'm showing today is a bit out of date if I go over mechanics, I think. Because I do know we have had some previews on the Onyx Path Discord where you can look into seeing how things like the dead have changed. I did ask for some clarifications at some point, and I can, if I go down to the Curseborne Discord, maybe I can see them. Let's see. It would have to be by from. Oh, I can't do from. Let's see. Dead. Wait. I'm in. I'm in. You know what? I'm not going to do that. It takes too long to search for that stuff. But in any case, there have been some changes. I don't think it's lore wise though. We have the Mavens here who are hedonists, libertines. Uh, they use their abilities to heighten people's emotions while we give them an experience. Our contracts often involve possession, with people agreeing for us to take direct control of their bodies for a short time. Oh, I remember these people. They're sort of like your chase adrenaline junkies and things. Mavens, I definitely would probably put down into one of the more. I think I just messed up with the stream a little bit. I'm fine. The Mavens are your sort of like have fun, like go out, have a good time. I could probably put them here in the Back Bay area. This is notorious, like not notorious, but it has a lot of nightclubs and stuff like that and bars. Let's do a nightclub search in Boston. Man, there are a lot over here by Boylston. I think that's Boylston Street. That might be yeah. Okay. Hey, lesbian nightlife and other venues. Cabaret. A lot of interesting places here by Stewart Street. If I do a thing here. Voodoo, thank you. I'm glad my videos have been very helpful. This is one of the things that I really like to do with my channel is make sure that like I try and explain things as simple as possible for people so that people who are unfamiliar with RPGs can easily get into them. I do like to do I really wish the content for stuff that's like more general like GMing advice and stuff did well, but what can you do? Okay, we'll use Stewart Street as the place for the Mavens for the moment, so that'll be this area here. Um, so what I can do here is I can do, let's do like here. You know what? They should have Tufts Medical Center in there. I don't know if I'll use this map for my own stuff, but it's just good for my own mind. Maven's territory. Nightclub, life, Fronted. Poltergeist, let's let the dead sit. Let's let the dead lie for a bit, and I can fix this in a sec. The fun part about being someone who like organizes games and being a GM and all that stuff is I really like how I use internet tools a lot of the time. Like I really like doing stuff with Excel. I've created random character generators and things like that. Biggest project right now is working with Onyx Path on the dice bot for Storypath Ultra and Storypath. That's going well. Hopefully stuff will move on it in a bit after we've kicked the tires around a bit more. Okay, so we did Furies. Furies are going to be our big one, I think, for the Boston. For the dead in Boston. Badoon. It does feel like we're in a bit of a niche within a niche. I've played D&D for a long time, but never had the courage to run a game before. My gaming group are great, though, and been very supportive. That's awesome. Hey, Vlad! Vlad is here. That's awesome. Thank you, Vlad. It's been a long time since I've talked to you. I'm glad to see you in the chat. It's cool. Really looking forward to playing Curseborne 2. Awesome. Doom. I'm excited to see where Curseborne goes. The initial PDF has been really good at getting me excited to start doing a real game. I'm a real game of it. That being said, I wonder where it's going to expand, because right now we only have the lower end of the power level. Right now, I think it's if you're, what is it, entanglement or something? Character creation, you have entanglement 3, like it goes up to entanglement 4 right now. Excuse me, sorry. Maybe I have to go over to experience. Here, entanglement. We go up to entanglement 4, and this has like, oh yeah, if you're entanglement 4, you start at entanglement 4, you're gonna get like 9 skill points and a few extra attribute points, some edges, and some spells. But once you get past Entanglement 4, I feel like that's where the game is going to kind of change a lot. We'll see, though. We don't know when that book's coming, if it's going to be a separate Kickstarter, maybe. I it's very exciting to see how this stuff is going to change, in my opinion. And if you want to like toss in which of the different families you want me to do next, feel free to do that. We have the Hungry, the Outcast, the Primals, and the Sorcerers as far as the lineages go. Um, if I were to be choosing which ones are the like main factions within a group, I would be like, oh yeah, House Bathory is one of my favorites. Uh, but House Bathory is very like, oh yeah, you're going with like the classic vampires when there are other like more interesting vampire families out there. So if anyone has a suggestion on like one of the groups you want me to do that's like out of the norms, I'll do that instead of the norm because I like to do my own thing sometimes. I honestly, it's done really well for Onyx Path. Probably just with the Kickstarter alone. The Kickstarter was really good. I do get a little sad when I look at Onyx Path Kickstarters though, and then I compare them to other people's Kickstarters. But that's just like comparing apples to oranges. Because you have like for me, I was comparing stuff like the what you calls it, the Welcome to Night Vale Kickstarter that was going on around the same time. But Welcome to Night Vale is just like a generic, like not generic. It is a defined, a well-defined setting already. So you really have to like, if you're doing something your own thing, you have to like build up the fan base from there. And while like there are a lot of people from Chronicles of Darkness, World of Darkness, and stuff who know about Onyx Path, Curseborne is an unknown quantity, so it's a little bit more like a risky thing for people to go into. Though for me, I really like it. I really like the themes that it's going with. And I'm not one to get upset about like, oh no, they're just trying to do something. Like I'm not the type of person who's like, oh no, they're gonna make this new thing and it's gonna be so different. I'm not gonna like it as much as their old stuff. I really like when we have stuff that is more akin to what people want in the modern day. In that regard, like for instance, I really like Haunting of Hill House. I really like Black Mass as far as like horror movies go or horror horror streaming shows go. But like World of Darkness, yes, it has that like same aesthetic. It is a horror game, but having something that has influences and inspirations from more modern storytelling and stuff like that is something I like. It's the type of thing like I grew up with Dragon Ball Z, but I also really like some like Avatar: The Last Airbender, which came out long after Dragon Ball Z. Doesn't mean I don't still watch Dragon Ball Z sometimes, though I'm kind of like grown out of it. But it just means it's something different you can appreciate. I don't know, I ramble a lot. Okay, so let's see. I'm just gonna go and select the Munificence for Outcasts as the um next family, like one of the main families that's gonna happen. That's because I know them a bit, and I feel like choosing that one is like sort of going a little bit away from the angel stereotype of the outcasts. So I'm not specifically singling out like sort of like the poster boy for a lineage. In any case, and if you want to see more of these streams in the future, let me know because I really I'm not. I do streaming on Onyx Path's Twitch occasionally, but I do want to get better at streaming on this YouTube channel. I did do a couple of streams a long time ago for what I had called the Jeopardy of Darkness, I think it was, or something. But it was a little bit difficult because I didn't know how to use the streaming software as well as I do now, especially because I was doing Twitch streaming, and Twitch streaming and YouTube streaming are entirely different beasts. Okay, so let's see what we got for the Munificence. Tempters, Devils. Budoon, yeah, agreed. I'm a big Onyx Path fan, do enjoy their output and have their own IP, should give them even more freedom, presumably. Definitely. I really enjoy what Onyx Path does as far as like their own IP stuff. I kind of wish that they were able to purchase Chronicles of Darkness, but I can understand that that might be a little bit difficult because it might be wrapped in World of Darkness stuff, but who knows? A casino from Superblad. Now that's something I need to look up because I don't know if there is a casino in Boston. Oh, there is. There we go. Oh, that's a casino tour. I don't know what that is. But there is a casino launch here. So a casino boat. So we can put them on a casino boat, which is awesome. Go back to the Munificence here. They are Watchers and the lore, sometimes things far worse. Our magic focuses on granting wishes, controlling minds, and presenting the public face that most people want to see. When casting spells with the that's the play Magnificent if you want to be rich, famous, and beloved at the cost of innocence. Spark deep and dangerous emotions. Strike a balance between self-delusion and crass materialism. This is where I think I can actually put in someone as their leader. We'll put that as the HQ here. Put as their leader is someone who's basically, we could do like the Lucifer Morningstar type person, but for Lucifer Morningstar type person, but for a casino. So, casino owner. Yeah, I have an entire YouTube video, Vadoon, on the Chronicles of Darkness's relationship with Paradox. That one was fun to do research on. Tough thing about doing those types of videos is I do a lot of interactions with people from Onyx Path who work with Paradox, even with the Exalted stuff. So it's like I do feel like I need to make sure that I get both sides of the story on that, because what we see as people who are players and fans is a lot different than what happens with the game developers and stuff like that. And like no one's ever told me what Paradox is doing with Onyx Path, or sorry, Paradox is doing with Chronicles of Darkness, but like if you go on Onyx Path's like podcasts, like listen to some of those episodes where they have like a question and answer thing, it's usually just nothing's getting greenlit. That's pretty much like my experience as someone outside of the whole thing, is just what I hear from what is publicly said. Okay, so we have, I want to do someone for the Munificence leader. I want to have someone with the last name Robbins, like Robin Williams. But we can do something along the lines of Gregor Williams, casino owner. And then you can toss in a few other things here. You can say that the boat goes into... No, the boat probably doesn't go into international waters. It probably just stays in the harbor. I always worry when I talk about like drama and stuff, because I don't want to be a drama YouTuber. I much prefer talking about the good stuff with games. Primals. We've got the 8-hand primals, who are the spider people. We've got the Leica, who are the werewolves. We've got the Hydes, which are the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type characters. The Raptors, who are winged reptiles. Spawna Vodnik, which are your sea serpent type, where, like, Lovecraft's... Lovecraft's deep ones, things of that nature. And then the Sphinx, which are your werecats. Which one should I do? I'm leaning towards the Hydes, because the Hydes are a pretty cool concept for me. But I'll let other people decide if need be on that. And if you're for the Hydes, just say it in the chat, because they're a pretty fun one. Let's just get some things in here. I need to add a new layer for the a social media network for the 8 hands. That is fun. So let's do primals. And if I remember, I'm trying to remember. I did a lot of game conferences in Boston. Where is a Microsoft nerd? Oh, it's in Cambridge. Okay. So the Microsoft nerd here was a place where I went to an independent game maker convention, which was nice. Boston Game Loop. I'm not even sure if it's still going. It was fun to go. But this will be our Kendall Square area. We'll have our 8 hands. Oh, undo. Damn it. There we go. Social media startup as their HQ. What's... You know what? I'm going to bring in one of my old characters, Marcus Smalls, as the leader of this faction. Tech Bro. So we have a social media startup for the 8 hands. And that's good, because 8 hands, if I remember correctly, their elders are jerks, but the people who are typically their leaders are the people who are younger who are trying to like form bonds and things of that nature with others. So that makes sense. The network of sorcerers feel like something very similar to that in a way. Also, I should say, as far as like all this stuff, I'm not endorsing any like businesses that are on the Google map or anything. And I'm not making fun of any people living or dead. Any case, that's a good one. I am going to do the hides. They won't be the major faction. I think the Eight Hands will be the major faction, but the hides are um, your sort of scientific minded individuals. Feel like they would be very good in the Tufts area as well, because that's like the medical research area of Boston. But we'll have to deal with being on here, Brookline Ave, where there's Harvard Medical School and stuff like that, and that'll be where our hides reside. Hides. I don't like how it highlights the word, but it actually isn't focused. So when I try and type something and it doesn't do anything, we'll make their color purple. Hides are purple. My mind. So hides, we do have the medical research group. Uh, Elizabeth. I don't want to say Elizabeth Banks because that's an actress. That's a cool last name. Um, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Um, Yep, definitely. I have so much Chronicles material to use. I'm more than happy rolling with that, and I haven't engaged with the V5 properly. Yeah, the World of Darkness 5th edition stuff. It's so weird because it's such a you have people who are very tied to how that stuff is run. Like people who are fans of Vampire the Masquerade love the lore, and then V5 sort of like did a weird thing with the lore, and people. Elizabeth Stevenson. I won't do Stevenson, but I will do Stevens. Um, but that yeah, Elizabeth Stevens works. HQ will have it as a blood bank. Maybe. Blood bank could work, research facility. Stuff of that nature. Hides run a for the genetic research of humanity and a curse. Something like that. Okay, so we did that. Badoon, I need to read the through the Curseborne draft. I backed it, but haven't had the chance yet to go through it. Very much enjoyed the actual plays for Curseborne. I hope one of those is my actual play because I really like doing that one. And that was set in Boston, which was fun. Uh, but yeah, I've read through the manuscript, but I haven't read through it like religiously. I've sort of skimmed through bits of it. Okay, we have 10 minutes left. We've got the Hungry and we've got the Sorcerers left. I am going to do House Batherite. Um, Bathory. And of course, if I was going to set House Bathory anywhere, I would probably set it in the I would set it here in the what is that area called? Uh Seaport District. But I could probably do it somewhere else that's a little bit more interesting. There is a Broadway within Boston. No Scavian. In the future, can we get a deep dive into every family? Yes, totally. I will probably be doing that at some point in the future. I can add it on. Actually, I'll add it to a list of stuff that I'll do short, like with hopefully within the next couple of months. Uh, Usually, I with games, I want to wait till the backer PDF copy comes out just because there's a lot of stuff that could change. But I think with the family overviews, I don't think there will be much. I know some people were. Here's my notepad. I know some people were a little bit upset with how the structure of the book is in regards to like the lore is mostly through a first person perspective. But I think that's good to start just so that you can like sort of feel out how groups will evolve. We do not have a lot of information about the family, so it's like really I might it might just be like one chapter. I did do a sort of overview that wasn't as much of a deep dive, but yeah, I get what you mean wanting to go more into detail with them. Let's see. I did a research into that. I'm going to go research Broadway Boston. No, I want a theater Boston. Theater District Boston. Here we go. This is your theater district in Boston, which we can turn into our sort of. Ooh, the Mavens are also in the theater district. For shame. House Bathory is going to be right here. No Scavian. Yeah, I understand. Have to wait till we get the information in deep dive, which will likely have to wait until the game is released. Yeah, I'm excited actually with how Onyx Path has been doing their releases as of late. Uh I think somewhere they mentioned something about like trying to get a lot of stuff out before the print on demand prices went up for Drive Through RPG. Um this would be Batherite. But that's specifically for Trinity Continuum Aegis. They came from the RPG anthology, and The World Below came out last like earlier this month. Like all three of them came out and was crazy. Definitely nothing else. Like as far as I can tell, it doesn't seem like there's going to be much more coming out. Like in the next couple of weeks as far as like big releases, but they did three big releases in a row, which is massive and unheard of practically. So House Bathory, we're going to give them an HQ of a theater. I guess we could call it Bathory Theater or something like that, or maybe give it something else. Oh, that's why it's a Transylvanian name. We have the Wilbur Theater. Further history. Where can we get like something a little bit more up to date? Battery of Simoleon. You know what? We could call it the Simon Theater. That sounds like a that sounds like a fair name. Lava Bean. I enjoy watching a good setting planning session. Well, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I'm sorry that you're getting a half baked planning session. Let's see. The leader for House Bathory. Let's go with something like. Oh, they have. That's the thing in the Bathory section of the book that I like is that they have fake titles usually. If I go to here for the Hungry. Red-handed pretenders and Draculas. We call ourselves courtiers. Bathorites like to have fun little titles to imply age and importance, such as the Duke of All Arts, a Queen of Fucking, and the Prince of New York. Let's do Lady of Boston. Last one we have are the sorcerers. Archivists, the Faceless, the Network, the Premier, the Reeves, and the Unburdened. Faceless are one of my favorite of the factions. I'm not going to make it the main one, but if people have one that they wish should be the main faction of the sorcerers here, please let me know. If you want the Faceless. There is a casino in Everett. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a little bit of way. Could toss it there. That's a good idea. I'll scroll out, go to Everett. That is kind of my alarm for letting me know that I need to leave the stop the stream in a bit. Lava Bean. Seaport, where you were looking on the map, is being gentrified into high rises and fantasy offices. Also, a major convention center there where PAX East is held. Yeah, I like I like Seaport District a lot. That's where I like to. If I go into Boston, I like to go to like the ICA's here, Institute of Contemporary Art. During wintertime, they had a holiday festival here, which was quite nice. Um, there used to be a speakeasy around here called Drink, I think, which was very nice. I'm always surprised with the stuff that gets like taken out. Oh yeah, no worries about the coming late to the game lava mean. I am very aware of of not being able to come to streams when they first start. The faceless, as going back to sorcerers, faceless are really fun. I like I have the leader of the faceless being no name, and I actually this was my favorite character idea, which is a person of indeterminate gender with a blank featureless face. And I like this concept of the faceless having a leader who doesn't show their face and has has set themselves up to essentially be like a ghost, as it were. Oh, Onyx Path is currently live on Twitch too. So if you are, I'm going to be finishing up here in a second. If you want to go to another stream after this, highly recommend checking out the Onyx Path's Twitch. I can't really send you guys over there through my software, but it's fun. It's fun seeing them. They're playing Exalted right now. What should be the Faceless's HQ? Let's have it be. Let's look at the landmarks. Maybe there's something in here that we can toss their way. Faneuil Hall is a classic. And put that in there. Faneuil Hall is somewhere over here, if I remember correctly. I'll have to look it up in here. Okay, so it is by the. So, like, for the Faceless, I'm thinking they would probably be, like, act kind of like spies. And I always feel like Faneuil Hall has a lot of people, like, performers and stuff like that are kind of hiding, like, kind of distractions and stuff like that, so people might not actually see what's going on. It's hard to think of a place where, like, people don't go, because it's like, oh yeah, people don't go here, but I wouldn't know that because I don't go there. The Waterfront Park might be a good place. I do see what you mean, Lava Bean, and the fact that it might be too crowded for people to be there. Yeah. Ooh, there's a place that does ghost tour pub crawls. Yeah, I don't think I want people all hours of the day, but okay. Yeah, no, I think I got it now. So you have the John F. Kennedy Federal Building as well as Boston City Hall right here. I think this would be a perfect government center area, being a perfect place for the Faceless. Okay, if you want me to have another stream at people, just let me know, because I'll try and plan another one next week. Same time, same place, maybe for a bit longer. We'll see. Okay, thank you all for watching. I will put this down in here. That's good. Government Center Subway will be where their HQ is for the moment. Now, we will leave that there for the moment. I will go back to here. Thank you all for watching so much. I really appreciate that we've hit 2,000 subscribers. I never thought I would hit that. It's been a rough year or so for the moment. Rough start to the year. Hope everyone's doing all right. And I will see you all next time, hopefully next week. Okay, now let's just end the stream, because I don't have to do anything for this. I just have to end the broadcast. I don't have to do any pre-rolls or anything. Check out any of my videos that have just come out recently, and support me on Patreon. Uh, it helps support the channel, and it allows me to buy some stuff on Drive-Thru RPG that I might not otherwise be able to talk about.